Hello everybody, Iain Robson here for another edition of Testing the Soil Mod. And this is on Conestoga map, if you are curious. So we've got things going on today. As you can see, we have our canola. It's currently growing at the moment. And let's just bring up the information here. And we have a slight acidity. So if you recall from the last episode, we tested out spreading some lime over here. And as you can see, it's moderately alkalinity. So that means we have it's a little bit too high over here, and then as you progress over to this side of the field, it drops down into the neutral area. So that just gives you an idea of what it is like on this particular field. So let's just everything seems to be okay in this field. There doesn't seem to have any weed infestation as of yet. So let's go ahead and fast forward time to the next day and see what happens. I was talking to a couple people before earlier on today about the soil mod. Let's go look for there we go. About the soil mod and how they've been messing around with it. I know Hitman82 is messing around with the soil mod now on one of the map called Land of Italy, and I was talking to Toby Moby as well, and we were just chatting about the soil mod and how he's had a little bit of a time with it so far and what his experiences are. I haven't got around to talking with Hitman to see what his experiences have been so far, but it's been pretty interesting to see the variations. I'm sure there's lots of videos in German, but not so many in English that I've seen as of yet. So as you can see at the top there, it says 60% growth, so anything I put on this field has disappeared, so there's the growth cycle. The 70% is when it tends to change. So far we're good for weeds here. It looks like it. I don't see any yet. Now you should be able to see it by the end of the cycle, I imagine. So looks like we're okay here. So this is kind of interesting to see how it plays out, because you never know what's going to happen. This is the end of the growth cycle, so I don't see any weeds. Let's just take a little drive around the field. Of course, you'd never drive around the field like this, but yeah, I don't see any. It just gives you the top-down approach, basically, or the bird's eye view, so to speak. Looks like it's okay. So because we have a slight oh no, there it is. Yeah, it's even changed a little bit over here. So because it's moderate on this side, it may affect our yield on that particular strip, but maybe not on the other sides of it. So if you're wondering what the weeds look like, this is what they look like if you just leave a field. Like, I haven't done anything with this field at all, and this is what happens. So you get little patches of weeds. So this one's not too bad, but the more you leave your field, like this has got a little bit over here as well. So the more you leave your field, fallow, I suppose would be the word to a certain extent, or not unused, I guess is a better word, then you get more of that. But so far, seems to be okay on this field. So let's turn this noisy tractor off and then progress to the next day. Oh, there's a great demand for wheat. Awesome. So this gives you an idea of. There we go. This gives you an idea as to how it plays out a little bit. Now, it definitely would be a little bit more interesting to have a whole map on here with the mod. Well, not just use. I'm just focusing on this one field for the time being. It's because it's nice and square. But if you were to have, of course, a larger field or multiple fields, you'd have to pay a little bit more attention to all of them, not just the one. But I am just messing around with the mod a little bit, so I thought I'd share it with you guys, in case you guys were wondering about it. A lot of people seemed pretty interested in it. The first episode of this little mini-series went up, what would it be, today? So here's coming up the growth cycle, 70%, so it's all ready to be harvested. So there you go. We seem to be good. Okay. Interesting. No problems there. So because oh no, there's a few weeds right there. So let's just. What's the infestation like over here? Probably not very high. 7%. Yeah. Looks like we're okay other places though. So essentially, what I'm actually doing now, if you want to relate it to real life, is I'm crop scouting. I guess is what I'm doing here. So here's a little bit here too. So we actually can't progress this to the next cycle. I actually have to harvest with the weeds on here, because if I go to the next crop cycle, I will just, these will just be, they'll just die basically. Let's hop into this guy over here. So they'll just die if I just don't do anything. Man, that's a loud tractor. It'll just wither, sorry, not die, but. Alright, so I don't know how this is going to work in terms of I don't know if it's gonna say. No, it doesn't say anything. It doesn't appear to. I was wondering if it would say something like your crop's been affected or the yield's been changed a little bit. But it's interesting because one of the things I'm kind of unsure about. So I fertilized the field, but that was, you know, at the start, right? So does that mean, so here's some more weeds right here. So as we go through those weeds, they get taken out there. That's interesting. Thought they'd be left. So as we progress through this, it changes a little bit. So what might happen over time is your pH levels will drop. So this is actually going down a little bit in pH. Excuse me. It's going down a little bit in pH right here. So probably I'll be able to do, the way it would work, if you're doing multiple fields, you'd be able to go do the same field maybe twice. This is the second harvest I think I've done this field. And then it would be okay. However, you would need to, where is it? You would need to deal with it at some point. So just grab this guy here. You would need to deal with it at some point, right? So it's funny. This tractor has like, it feels like it starts at like Mach 50. It's funny. I don't know. Maybe it's actually like that in real life. I don't know. But it has like super stopping power and super acceleration apparently. There we go. But I guess it's good for trucking stuff around like I'm going to do right here, so. Pretty sure this trailer is a little bit too large for this, but oh well. So yeah, here's again, different stages of weeds. So there's a first stage I think maybe, and that's the second stage. Or when it's fully grown, that's not fully grown, so this gives you an idea. And this one over here, because it's withered, right? There probably is weeds in here somewhere. Yeah, there you go. So there's more weeds in there. So, for example, for this field right here, what I'd want to do, essentially, is I'd want to cultivate that down, I imagine. I could spray, I suppose, too. That's another option. I could spray the field and go from there. I have to remember it's not on... I normally have my combines in field 2, right? Or field 2. In group 2, but... Of course, I don't have them in any group at the moment, so... So far, we haven't done too badly in terms of yield, it seems like. Oh, it's this again. Oh, no, there it goes. Just where it needed to be. So, we haven't done too badly, it appears to so far, so that's good. Here we are. Let's just see what people had to say about this video. So there's a couple interesting... Alright, what else we got here? People are telling me to get... I was just looking at the comments from the last episode of this. I believe it's Eric says he's happy to see I'm doing a series on the soil mod. Craft Farm says, great video, I'm getting... He's going to be getting the mod eventually. Mixture of weeds and crop that are still harvested. Yeah, a lot of people will still harvest a field even though it has weeds in it. You can't really do much about that. In a lot of situations, just because you don't have the, you can't, well, what it boils down to a lot of the time is you just can't harvest a field. You have to have a duration of time in between the time you spray a field and the time you harvest it. So a lot of the time, you can't spray a field before you harvest it, because what will happen is you'll run into problems where your grain essentially won't be the same quality. So it could drop down to a quality like, for example, feed grain, which is the worst. Well, if you're just planting canola, for example, and it drops to feed grain, I don't know if I even do that, but it would be not very good because you'd lose quite a bit of money. And the same thing happens with soybeans and wheat and whatnot, so not fun. Not fun at all. Jeff says this is more like farming with a soil mod. Glad you like that, Jeff. Ismasal says he likes the fact that I'm using the Massey. It's good. A lot of people are interested in, or a lot of people are checking the it out to see what's it all about, sort of idea, which is good. Which is good. So I don't know. I'm interested in the mod. That's why I thought I'd record it for you guys and just show you what's what. So right now it's a little bit more has a little bit more acid over here, so we'll have to keep that in mind. Because we'll have to probably balance that pH level out a little bit. Because I don't know, it's going to be low on this side. It's going to be high on that side. It's where the combine is. Just because we spread lime there before, if you recall, and because we spread lime on that side over there, it's probably going to be neutral, and this side we have the acid. So I don't know how that's going to work though. It's going to be interesting. It'll be interesting to see how it changes. I don't know. I'm sure it will. It's somehow. How that will be, I don't know. Let's just hop over to the combine here. Let's put them in group 2 so I don't have to keep doing that. So this is, yeah, so over here it's neutral now. And the reason why it's neutral over here now is because we spread that one strip of lime, basically. And as far as I know, where is it? Because I can grab this tractor. Yes, yes, yes. There it is. As far as I know, when you use this thing right here, whoops. When you use this thing right here, if you want to spread lime, as far as I know, it is so that's fertilizer, synthetic fertilizer A, B, C. I think this is supposed to be lime, and that is lime, I believe. So we did this one right here. That's nothing, and I believe that's lime. So let's do it like this. So let's, on this side, it's got a slight acidity. So let's spread C. Let me just check the notes here. I actually have the notes in front of me, just to make sure I'm not screwing it up. Stop, tractor. Jeez. It rolls back. It's really annoying. Anyways. I don't know why the tractor rolls back. I know it does that in real life to a certain extent, but this seems a bit excessive. Maybe it's just me. Does it have a parking brake? No, apparently not. Of course. Yeah, so I'm pretty sure C is lime. So let's do this. So let's spread a little section of this. So I think this is considered fertilizer on this side. So this, I think this is I have to check here now. I think this is fertilizer C, which I could think is considered lime, but I'm not sure. So this, we'll just see next time around. So this time over here we have just the, this is fertilizer C, and then what we'll do is on the other side we'll spread this right here, which is, I believe, supposed to be lime. And then we'll progress to the next day just to test it out. So yeah, that's, I believe that's supposed to be lime. So I have one of the mods I have installed is called the manure lime mod, I believe, and that's what that's supposed to be. So it's slightly alkalinity over here. So we'll see what happens. There we go. And of course you can run to the trees. So excuse me. So over here we spread a little bit of lime. Over here, I believe this is just regular fertilizer. So let's progress to the next day and see what happens. So 5.8 on this side, And on the other side, we have... Let's turn this tractor off. Okay, so on this side, we have a slight... So now this is neutral again. Interesting. So what this should happen is these... See, this little white lime, I guess this is supposed to be, this will actually disappear, and the fertilizer will disappear as well. So it's 5.8. So I believe what will happen is around 70. So here's a little bit of canola, and we'll be able to see what happens to the canola once it hits that tipping point. It's kind of interesting. It's I like it because it's a bit closer to real life, and your yields are a bit more affected by that type of stuff, which is good. So let's see. So this should change right here. So yeah, there it went away, and over here it went away as well. So here we have strong alkalinity. So yeah, that's definitely lime. And over here, this is 5.8. Yeah, so that's definitely lime right there. And this gives you an idea. So see how we have all these weeds here now? I could spray a herbicide, which is one way to deal with the weeds. Let's just see. Do they say anything about weeds specifically? I think they do. Manure and slurry? No. So what will happen is, on this side right here, because we're at 8.8, our harvest will actually be only 80% of our actual yield, which is still a lot, I think. There's only 80% on this side. And on this side over here, where we're at 5.8, that's actually, we only get 75%. So you actually, it's better to be on the high side than the low side, apparently. But as you can see, we have weeds. We have weeds all around this. So we could do two things. We could spread herbicide, or we could cultivate it down. Let me just see. Soil, pH, and lime. No. Does it say anything about weeds on here? Soil condition? No. Doesn't appear to say anything that's easily distinguishable right at the start. Growth, crop withering. Herbicide will make weeds wither and then dissipate. Moisture from spraying will vaporize. Soil pH will affect the harvest. That's what I was just talking about. So if we had, if we spread lime on this side and then cultivate it into the ground, apparently that will increase its effect as well. I don't think they don't say anything about weeds. No. Oh, here it is. My bad. Patches of weeds will continuously appear in the fields as their seeds are spread with the winds. Plowing, cultivating, or seeding will remove them. So I could plow them, I could cultivate them. But sometimes, so for example, right now I could cultivate, I could plow, or I could spray. It doesn't make a difference. But if I have a crop in here already, obviously I can't. It would just be, it wouldn't make any sense to cultivate when you have a crop in the ground. Yeah, it says in soil mods advanced mode, which is what we're in right now, any type of these herbicides will kill weeds. However, some crops will be affected by specific types of herbicide. So for example, if we actually had a crop in here, we wouldn't want to spray, I don't know, we wouldn't want to spray something specific. So let me give you an example. So if we're going to put wheat in here, let's say there's wheat already in here, I wouldn't want to spray herbicide A because I might kill the wheat. That's how that would work. However, there's nothing in here right now, so it doesn't matter what we put down. Apparently, it takes a little bit of time actually too before the weeds fully dissipate. All right, so let's move this combine out of the way. I wonder if it makes a difference if you put the same crop in multiple times. I don't know if it does or not. It doesn't say anything about that, so I'm assuming it doesn't. It's gonna do that. Let's move this guy out of the way here. So what we're gonna try and do is I'm just gonna. So if we seed, we'll get rid of the weeds. But I want to try something here. Let's just unload the combine. Or at least try to. This might be easier if I just move this guy again. Alright, here, let's get this. I think the comment actually needs to be on, but we'll find out. Oh no, maybe not. Alright, let's grab the Massey Ferguson, the loud tractor. So I could just spray it, but I want to try cultivating it. I got a little cultivator over here anyways, so I'm just going to give it a go. So this kind of gives you an idea, like you kind of have to pay more attention to your fields. It's not just so much of a plant, seed, combine, or plant seed, same thing. There's not so much, there's a little bit more involved in it than just those factors now, which is good. I think we can go to, there we go. So that's what happens when you cultivate over the weeds. As you can see, they just disappear, which is good. Now, let's just try this. So, what I want to try is, I just want to see what happens when you, let's grab this guy right here again. And yes. I'm going to spread lime all over this field and then cultivate it. So, if you recall, so this is 8.3 here, so this is kind of high already. And this is neutral over here. So I'm gonna, this will give it the maximum effect. So if you just spread lime, it will have a little bit of effect. But if you spread lime and then cultivate like I'm going to do, it will increase its effect. So I should be able to. So this side's already low anyway, so I'm just going to increase it because it's, from what it looks like, it's actually better to have a high pH than a low pH. Because if it's really acidic, that's bad, basically. So we'll see how this works out. I am curious. This is why I'm messing around with it. Also, it gives me a reason to play on this map a little bit. So I wanted to check it out a little bit, and it wasn't quite my style for a Let's Play on it, and that's one of the reasons why I didn't do a Let's Play on it. But I just wanted to check it out a little bit, so. Kind of pulling a Rob right here and doing a little check it out, let me know in the comments sort of thing, but in this case you don't need to let me know in the comments. It's more of a testing of the soil mod more than anything else. So once I've tested it out a little bit, I'll probably just maybe I'll go to a map with this installed, or maybe I'll install it on a map that already has, or go to a map that already has it, or put it on a map I already play on. So. But you really need to have this up the whole time. So this already has a strong alkalinity, which should be interesting. So if I cultivate this, it should just skyrocket that. And if you recall, even at 100%, even at like higher, 9 and higher, which is what this is going to be after I'm done with this. Where's my Massey Ferguson? So even after I go and cultivate this in, so let me just start from the beginning again. So this is only going to reduce our yield to 70%, or should be 70% roughly. Probably need a more powerful tractor for this, but whatever. There we go. Oh, interesting. So it actually takes the lime away. Or the, I should say the texture of it. Well, I don't want to hire a worker if he's going to go that slow. Jeez. Apparently that was super slow for him. But this should increase. So this is at 6.1. So if I do this, is this? I don't own this field. Oh, I know. There we go. Let's set this up properly here. We want not that. What am I looking for? I haven't messed around with this in a while, apparently. I am looking for this one. There we go. There we go. And set to the right way. Good. Okay. Let's get this started properly this time. There we go. He should automatically turn now. But yeah, because this is going to increase the pH levels to quite a high level, so even if we do that, so what will happen maybe for like the very first harvest, it'll be a lower harvest. And then what will happen is as time progresses, you may drop down. Can it run into that? No, I didn't think so. There we go. Backing up with a cultivator in the ground doesn't work, apparently. And I think this thing's just a wee bit too heavy for this tractor. That's the feeling I'm getting right now, at least. So what I'll do is I'll do that side, and I'll do this little strip over here. Because this is the strip that's already pretty high in pH levels and whatnot, so we'll see. It'll be interesting to see what happens nonetheless. But the trees, running into all the trees would frustrate the heck out of me. Let's just say that. Oh, apparently wants to turn around. Okay, whatever. Alright, so this should be a pretty good showing of how this would work. So, if you recall, 8.9, so this should put it up to like 9 or 10 or something over here. And then that side should go up to about 8 maybe, I don't know. Because apparently there's like 3 stages of this, so, of this lime. It'll increase it by a certain amount. Okay, so we're at 9.3 extreme. So let's accelerate time to the next day and see how much higher it actually goes. Okay, so this is at 9.4. So after it goes through its whole phase here, it should be interesting to see what happens, because we cultivated it in. So that's supposed to have a greater effect. Over here, yeah, so it's only 5. Well, yeah, it's a bit higher over here now. I'm just curious to see how high this is actually going to go. I don't know if it actually goes higher than 10 or not, but it looks like it does. So what you could do here, so like right now I will only get 7% of the harvest, or 7% worth of the harvest, and then after that it will, I suppose, change to something else. 65, so this is where it should give us a good change at 70%. Maybe not. Maybe it'll change to something else, I don't know. 80, 90, nothing. 96, 100%. Maybe it'll take, I think what they said is it takes maybe a day or two to take effect, maybe then. Oh yeah, so here, this has gone up here as well. And that's gone up a little bit over there. That's different. Let's just try one more day and see what happens. Maybe it'll take more than one day to come into effect, which I think is the case. At least if my memory serves me correctly. So, again, here's the weeds. If you let them take over the field, then you'll lose part of your crop, right? Well, you lose the potential of how much you're actually going to get. So let's just see here. We're at 40% again. What I want to do next time around is going to try with try fertilizing with organic material, just to see if it makes a difference or not. So this is at 9.4 still, so it should maybe change soon. So it's like I said, it's more of a testing. It's not really a let's play. So there's the weeds growing again. You can see that and that. That's what happens when you don't do it. So these weeds over here, they're still okay for the time being. And this over there, this is 9.4. Maybe it doesn't go higher than 9.4. It should. Oh, 100%. So this is extreme. So this is like really bad basically right now. Even here, so this has dropped down a little bit. So if you notice, this has here it's dropped down a little bit in some places, but as you can see, it's kind of at 9.4. It's kind of sticking there, and over here where we spread it as well, it's already dropping, and over here, yeah, it's dropping as well. So that's just to show the I guess the effect of it. That's kind of cool. Anyways, like I said, next time around we'll come around and we'll fertilize this field with organic material and see how that works out. Because apparently organics, because the way it works, as far as I know, if you fertilize with synthetic, you won't get the full. You won't get a full amount of yield. You will get like, I don't know. There's like 3 stages as I understand, and you'll get 2 stages instead of 3. So 3 being the highest level of growth. So if you do it with organic, you'll get up to stage 3. If you do it with synthetic, you only get up to stage 2, as far as I understand. So, anyhow, that's it for today, folks. My name's Iain Robson. This has been Farming Simulator 2013, testing out the soil mod. Catch you guys later.